I heard about human trafficking, and I went out on the streets to figure out what was going on. And human trafficking is something that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I realized that there were women that society had just considered throwaways. Nobody cared what happened to them. And, that was really heartbreaking to me. And my husband and I were really looking for a way to get involved and to do something meaningful. And we just started going out on the streets and handing out hot dogs actually on Sundays, and they began calling us the hot dog people. And from doing that, I realized that these women were either on their way to or coming from the detention center. So for me, that just set off a series of events where I began, thinking critically about, how can we help this population? How can I use the gifts and talents that I have, possibly to help these women? And it didn't come all of a sudden. It was, a step in the darkness. And, when you learn, I think, to hear God's voice and you can recognize what God's voice sounds like when He's speaking to you, you just do what He's telling you to do, and then He shows you the next step. Jasmine Road is a 2-year long-term residential program for women that have survived human trafficking, prostitution, and addiction. So our mission is simply to heal, empower, and employ survivors. And the way that we do that is by providing safe and secure housing, time and space to heal, meaningful employment, and then a lifelong community of support. And we've opened social enterprise restaurants that are serving to employ the women that are in Jasmine Road. A big part of what we're doing is rebuilding community for these women and loving women, and that their gifts and their talents and abilities will shine. And we want to provide them opportunities so that they can discover what those things are and really live into who they were created to be. I would like to personally thank Fellowship Greenville and, for what Fellowship Greenville has meant in my life. I can't count the times that I've heard Fellowship talk about loving with no expectation of return. And, to be able to do that and to live that out, I think is incredible. Fellowship Greenville has wrapped its arms around this project and has joined us in helping to get a second house off the ground. And we immediately knew when we opened the first house with 5 women, well, I could have filled up 5 houses with the women that I know that are on the streets currently. To be able to, by the end of 2020, to have the second house and be able to triple our capacity and serve more women, that's incredible. And the volunteer opportunities where Fellowship has come alongside and worked with our women, and we're really grateful for those opportunities as well. I know that God didn't send me to the margins and to the streets for me to change the margins, but for the women on the margins to change me. And that is truly what has happened, on this journey. And, I do believe the gospel is a call to action, and it's a call to love people unconditionally, and to love without expectation of return, and to love without judgment. And that's what I love about Jasmine Road, because I get to do that every day. Every day I get to love women back to life, and I get to walk beside them as they heal, and I get to watch them become the beautiful people that God created them to be.